Yo, what is up, guys? How is the audio sound? So I'm in my new place. What's up? What's up? How's everyone doing? Hope everyone is doing good. Let me know about the audio. I am in a new location, so I don't know if there's hella echo or what. I'm still dealing, like I just set up my computer and plugged it in before I started this video. I forgot I've misplaced one of my monitor cords, so one of my monitors isn't working. I'm all sweaty and gross. It's been a nightmare. I'm never moving again. Audio is repeating. I want to turn some more lights on to make it a little brighter. Does that help? Okay, cool. Oh no, does the title say Feb 16th? Oh no. My bad. Okay. Okay, cool. You guys can see my temp setup here. All right. So, did I turn that shit off? I did. Okay. So what's up? What's up? What's up, Trading Puppy? What's up, Twelver? What's up, Chad? Guy, what's up? Brighton Nick. Brighton IK. Yo, man, what do you do if you slept through a breakout? Yeah, Guy Welsh nailed it. Go back to sleep. I mean, don't chase the trade ever, right? You never chase. Do Close says neck. Mitch says brand new $1 billion desk. The desk is starting to come together. I will post an update picture once it's ready. It's not as bad as it looks, I swear. Where's the sunglasses? I never wear sunglasses. V-neck tees. Y'all want to see the goods. The neck. Audio is okay. Sounds pretty good. Yeah. So it's going to be a little bit of an echo. I literally have no furniture in this place. I just moved in a couple of days ago. Yeah, going to fill this place out a little bit. I even got a green screen that I'm going to put behind me. That's going to be pretty sweet. That I'm looking forward to. All right, cool. Okay, audio fine, light echo from the room. Yeah, I'm gonna get one of those things for the mic as well that will kind of hopefully reduce that a little bit. Okay, cool. Iron Valorant says he wants to see a tour of the new desk. Or he says, do I know King Azu? I know King Azu a little bit, yeah, through Twitter, as well as anyone knows anyone through Twitter. What's up, Maxime? He says, where's the neck? Y'all want to see the good shit? Is this gonna get me demonetized? Showing a little too much skin. Where's the fucking neck? The money maker. Okay. Yeah, moving is fucking awful. Uh, moving is fucking awful. I'll never do it again. I'll pay someone next time. I'm much too rich and pretty to move myself. Okay, so welcome back to another Ethereum and Chill stream. I'm Trader Main. Getting my new desk set up. This isn't even where the desk is gonna be. I just needed to get it in here. In the meantime, while I get some shit up, I got internet installed. I'm just grinding to get my shit going here. It's been a super pain in the ass. New angle on the webcam. Do we love it? Do we hate it? It used to be over here. Now it's above the screen. You guys can let me know. But yeah, let's get into it. Thanks to Prime XBT as usual for helping me put these streams on. Use the link in the description if you want to show them some love. Help me out. Help me help you by signing up. Using that link, you get a 50% deposit bonus when you do. So shout out to the team at Prime. Obviously, nothing I talk about here is financial advice. You guys already know that. We're just a bunch of autistic people online gambling on internet beans, right? Let's be honest. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. Obviously, be careful. Don't risk more than you're willing to lose. Do your own research, that kind of thing. So I'm really excited, guys. I'm super excited about this move. It's almost done. I'd say I'm about 80% done. This desk is going to be going into another room that I've got a bunch of boxes in there right now. Once I get those boxes out, going to be putting the desk in there, building a proper battle station. I'll have a sick view of the city as well. I'm going to put some cool lights up. I'm going to have a green screen. It's going to be fucking epic. So I'm really looking forward to it. I've also got a lot of awesome content planned for this month and next month. I'm really stoked about. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that crayons video. I know it wasn't the most coherent piece of content I've ever put out. But yeah, it's hopefully helpful, right? It is an indicator that I use in confluence with my price action trading that I already do. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the new place, to making some great videos for you guys. Really fucking stoked. Obviously appreciate all you guys' support as usual. So let's get it fucking going here. We got 200 people. So obviously big move on Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin. Everything kind of saw a nice little bump to start the week, today being Monday. There was a lot of uncertainty, kind of going into last week, near the end of the week, correlation to stocks, what is going on with Bitcoin over the weekend. They're passing stimulus, right? $1.9 trillion passed, I believe, in the House or in the Senate, and then it goes to the House or the Senate. I don't know, I'm not American, but the stimmy is going through, $1.9 trillion. $1,400 checks going out to a bunch of people in America to buy Bitcoin, hopefully. The stock market was kind of looking doomy and gloomy and nukey and pukey. And then all of a sudden, Twitter, as usual, everyone all of a sudden is, an S&P 500, equities expert, talking about the correlation, talking about, equities and bonds and all this bullshit. What you'll find on CT is that I've never been in a community where there is this many experts at everything. Everyone is an expert at everything. All of a sudden we're correlated to equities. Well, now we got a bunch of fucking seasoned fucking trading floor traders, with fucking who've never spoken about equities before, all of a sudden telling you that fucking equities are going to drop because the 10-year bond is pumping and the dollar is pumping, right? And then that's related to crypto because it's risk on and blah, blah, blah. I say this shit, but I've been tracking this shit for years. I've been tracking the dollar's correlation to crypto and equities correlation to crypto for years at this point. And it's all on my feed, and I'm not saying, I'm the first person to notice it, anything like that. More so, I'm just saying, take everything with a grain of salt, right? CT is very much about the flavor of the week, right? And if the flavor of the week is the stock market correlation, that's what everyone's going to tweet about. And when the stocks are going down, fuck the correlation. Bitcoin's going to decouple. When stocks are going up, it's like, we're correlated. Bitcoin's also going to pump. So as usual, it just is kind of a testament to no one on Twitter knowing what the fuck they're talking about for the most part, outside of, some people. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time, right? So take everything with a grain of salt, do your own research, I posted a tweet today, it didn't get a ton of engagement, but essentially it was kind of just a high level of what I just said. It said, listen, I've been tracking the S&P equities crypto correlation for some time. And I do believe that correlation exists, stronger sometimes than, sometimes it's really strong, sometimes not as strong, but it's there. But you don't need it, right? The problem is people will say, okay, stocks are pumping, therefore crypto has to pump, or stocks are dumping, therefore crypto has to dump. It's not always a one-on-one. To me, it's confluence. It's not enough for me to make an entire trade idea. But if equities are looking like shit and Bitcoin looks like shit, well, confluence, right? But if equities are looking bearish, but crypto's looking bullish, right? What chart are you trading? Focus on that. That was the kind of the essence of that tweet, was just, focus on the chart that you're trading, especially if you're new. One of the most common kind of pitfalls of a new trader is information overload, analysis by paralysis. You have too much information coming at you, and you can't even make a decision because you have all these different inputs of data coming at you, and it causes you to kind of just essentially do nothing. So I would, especially if you're new, just focus on the chart that you're trading. Don't worry about equities. Don't worry about the dollar. Just focus on Bitcoin. If that's what you're trading, just focus on that. Once you master that, then you can start kind of dovetailing in some of these other things. Is that even the proper use of dovetail? I don't know. But that would be kind of my recommendation, especially for new traders. Don't focus on too much shit at once with this, because that's all you're going to see on Twitter the last few days, right? This equity correlation. If you don't get it, don't worry about it. It's not necessary. You can just trade the Bitcoin chart and be fine. So with that being said, let's talk about Bitcoin. In my last video, last Sunday, we talked about two long setups, one on Bitcoin, one on Ethereum. Both of them worked out with, massive success. They didn't give you the perfect entry that I would have liked. But basically, if you follow me on Twitter, I've been pretty consistent about getting long, kind of near the range lows, and targeting 51,500. That was kind of my key level. And then above 51,500, I said I'm quite bullish. So we'll kind of go quickly, reverse engineer those long entries. If you want to see them in advance, right? Because when we did the last video, we were printing the bottom, right? So 7 days ago, we were printing the bottom here, and I was talking about being bullish and getting long. So I'll go over those entries again, but if you want to see them in advance rather than in hindsight, go watch last week's video, because I've laid out the bottom long on Ethereum and on Bitcoin, and both worked out. So I'll quickly cover those in reverse, and then from there we will talk about what I think is next. And then after that, I'll do that for Bitcoin, I'll do that for Ethereum, I'll cover Litecoin, we'll get to the chat, answer any questions you guys may have. As I talked about in the last video, I'm gonna try and make these a little shorter than normal. I've been doing these like 2.5 hour long streams, and I just feel like they're too long. So what I'm gonna be trying to do is just kind of cut down on the side length of some of these streams, keep them around an hour-ish, and then maybe do them more frequently. It's a little bit easier to consume on your end, and it's a little less draining for me. I would rather do 2 1-hour videos on different days than a 2.5 hour video, so let's quickly reverse engineer that Bitcoin long. So again, this was covered in stream last week at 46K. We were bullish at the bottom. I explained why. I gave you guys one of my entry techniques that I use day in, day out when I trade. The exact setup applicable on any time frame. I went into great detail about how it works, where your risk goes. So I'm not gonna rehash all of that shit. Go watch last week's video if you want kind of an in-depth explanation. This is gonna be kind of a high level. So last week, we were looking at this kind of multiple SFP, right? So the last video we did was on March 1st, and then the video before that we did one around here. Sorry about that. Okay, so we talked about this kind of sweep, whatever the fuck you want to call it, you know, SFP, reason to get bullish at the bottom, right? So high time frame sell-off, 1, 2, 3 drives, run the low, run it back turbo, right? So last week's video, we were trading here, okay? So last week's video was March 1st, I believe. And March 1st, as you can see right here, we were trading, where was it? Was it here? What would last week have been? No, it was the 28th, excuse me. It was the 28th last week. So we were trading down here. So we longed the bottom, essentially, and it was based off of this being a swing failure pattern, right? On the 12-hour, on the daily, whatever time frame you want to use. We had a high time frame running of lows. That's not what I want. High time frame running of lows here. Okay, and then we zoom in, right? So what was the setup, if you guys remember? It was a breaker. So just looking at the 12-hour, actually the 12-hour breaker played out perfectly. We ended up zooming in and getting in a little more dialed in this consolidation. But just looking at the 12-hour here, you actually had a perfect breaker, breakout, or break and retest on the 12-hour. So you have that daily liquidity, you have the run, right? The breaker is the up candle that caused the down move to run the lows, right? So where is that? We also were into demand, right? So why is this sweep relevant? It's not just a random swing low getting run. It's a swing low getting run into daily demand, right? So we had the confluence of high time frame support and resistance and a liquidity grab. And then on the 12-hour here, this would have been a great long entry right here. So doesn't get any cleaner than this. The setup that I showed you guys last week was a low time frame breaker in here, right? This is a high time frame breaker playing out. This is chill, right? You've got a 9 to 5, you've got a regular day job. You don't want to be looking at the 5-minute chart, the 1-hour chart, whatever. This is the 12-hour. This has one candle. One of these candles represents 12 hours. You only got to check the chart once, twice a day, right? So you can trade, or at least learn to trade while working, right? And you don't need to scalp. You can use the high time frame, you know, use the 4-hour chart, the 8-hour chart, the 12-hour chart. Now you don't have to fucking stare at what's going on. Within all of this is a bunch of little candles doing all sorts of bullshit. All you need to do is check every 12 hours, be like, boom, 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 there's my entry, boom, you're gone, right? So on the 12-hour, this played out pretty much perfectly. And it's a fractal of the setup that I showed you on the low time frame, but on the high time frame. So you can see here's the up candle, right? That caused the down move that ran the low, again, into daily demand. So it's not just into the middle of nowhere, it's into daily demand. That's what makes it relevant. That's what makes that specific liquidity grab one that I'm interested in looking for a setup at. And I bet you at crayons, right into the liquidity grab, right? You got 2 buy signals there, right? So all that shit lines up. Anyways, there's your entry, right? So up candle, caused the down move, ran the low, broke through. You could have entered here or you enter here. And what you have here is within this high time frame setup, you have another swing failure pattern right here. So if you entered here, right, and then it moved and then it came back to your entry, right? Let's say you close it. Let's say here you moved your stop up to break even. So you get stopped here, okay? Well, if I'm trading this, let's say I entered here and we saw this move. And then I'm like, okay, I'm moving my stop to break even because I think this is going to be an SR flip here, right? Which would be logical, right? This is resistance, breakthrough. Hopefully that would have gone like that, right? And then price comes back down, stops you out. Well, can you not step back in here? It's another retest of the breaker, so it's a valid setup, and it's a swing failure pattern here. So if you got in here, took some profit off the table, maybe moved your stop to break even or into profit, you can either step back in here if you get stopped out, or this is your setup on itself. You don't enter here, let's say, you're entering on this pullback. Swing failure pattern, extra confirmation. Where are you targeting? I'm targeting here. I'm targeting right here. Okay, you could argue, probably find a lower time frame target like this in between. So I would actually probably say here and then here. So we've already hit target 1, that would be target 2. But that exact fractal that I just showed you on the H12, right, this setup played out on the low time frame here. And that was the long that I talked about on stream, getting long in here. But this is still a great entry. Didn't have to watch, but this is picture perfect breaker setup here on the H12. Pull your fib, boom, right into the 62% retracement. H12 breaker, H12 swing failure pattern into daily demand, boom, boom, boom. That's everything Maine needs to enter a trade. So hopefully some of you were paying attention and got in one of these longs. I'm gonna go over the lower time frame one next here. What's up, EC? What's up, Sal? Sorry, one sec, guys. All right. WSS says, Maine, can you give us advice on how to enter the markets? I want long exposure, but I don't want to get wrecked. I don't even know how to answer that question, my man. All I do here is cover my views on the markets, potential setups I like. You know, if you're asking me a question like you want to get exposure to the market, but you don't want to get wrecked, well, you should never get wrecked, right? If you're using a stop, the whole point of using a stop is to make sure that you don't get wrecked, right? You know your maximum risk before you enter the trade, right? So there should be no situation where you can get wrecked, really, if you're trading with, you know, risk management in mind. But yeah, I mean, from the way that you've prefaced your question here, it sounds like you're not super experienced, right? So I absolutely would not trade on margin. If that's what you're thinking of doing, do not fucking do that. If anything, the best way to have exposure to the market is to be in spot. So find the coins that you like, find the charts that you like in terms of price action, and then build some long exposure in the form of buying spot. Do not fuck with leverage. If you do not know what you're doing, you will lose all your money, I promise. Mind checking out NEC BTC. Should we make a NEC coin? Should we make a NEC coin and then I'll just exit scam and then just you never hear from me again? Should women be allowed to own Bitcoin? I am pleading the fifth on that one. I'm not going to answer. Of course, women should be allowed to own Bitcoin. Terra Infinity, my incel audience members have just left the chat. Terra Infinity says, dope, yes. Augie Bruner says, where's the desk? I will post a desk update tomorrow once I add some more shit. I got absolutely eviscerated for posting that. I don't think it looked that bad. Like, I guess like in hindsight, you just got like a white wall and then just like a basic ass white desk with nothing on it. So I get it, but it's just like IKEA. It's like an IKEA desk that I've built myself. Not even IKEA desk. It's 2 IKEA cabinets and a countertop. But I've got my monitors up. I've got my PC together. Next thing is going to be some lights. I'm going to get the green screen. It's going to be sick, I promise. Hi, Maine. WWG member. Say hello. What's up? Macy Dufrat. How you doing? M5 says he doesn't wear sunglasses, rocks them in the crayon video. Those are not sunglasses. Those are blue light reducing glasses. So I usually wear those when I'm on screen for just a long period of time or at night. And they just kind of help give your eyes a break from the screen. I highly recommend them. They're great. The ones I have are by Gunner Optics. If you want to check those out. I don't have a promo with them. Gunner Optics, if you're listening, hit me up. Put a discount code in the videos, a little quid pro quo. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, you know what I'm saying? 12er says, tell me I haven't missed an entry on LTC. I mean, listen, there's always a new entry. There's always a new entry. Price is irrelevant, right? Price is irrelevant. There's always a new entry. Move to Burundi. I don't know what that means. Eric says the angle is good. Okay, dope. Trader SZ, what's up, homie? He says, get us 100 likes. I agree. Let's get 100 likes. That would be dope. Price going up because candles are white. Chad says the sound is good. Shifty says, is this Oprah? Not last time I checked. If I had Oprah money, I wouldn't be doing this on a Monday night. Bybit funding is 0.22 in 30 minutes. Okay. Is ETH possibly going up to 2K this week? Possibly. It's only $150 away. It's pretty close. I'm an expert in computer magic. I agree. You probably are. Bro, I have a friend who's a beat maker. Just sell 3 normal beats for 0.4 ETH each. These clubhouse rooms are making people rich. Damn, I got to get in on that. Dovetail. So I did use it right. First time here. Great info. Thanks, bro. Question about Litecoin. Why do you think it can outperform other large cap alts? I know it will do well, but it seems like it's just a little better than Bitcoin Cash. First of all, never compare Litecoin to that absolute garbage coin, Bitcoin Cash. Fuck Craig Wright. Fuck Roger Ver. All that matters is the chart. I don't really trade based on fundamentals. I am trying to learn. I do have an interview I'm doing next week with a DeFi project coin because I want to learn more about fundamentals and that kind of shit and just kind of round out my knowledge because I approach crypto very much from a pure trading perspective. I don't care what the coin is, what it does. Show me the chart. If the chart looks bullish, I'm going to buy it. So the only reason I'm bullish on Litecoin is because of the chart. It has nothing to do fundamentally. They are doing Mimbly Wimbly on March 15th. So I know there's some fundamental pumponomics that could be coming out, but I'm purely just trading the chart. I'm not saying it's better than any other cap, but Cardano, for example, has gone on a huge run. I think it's going to cool off. Litecoin is yet to go on a big run, and I think there's a lot of room, and I think the chart looks good. That's why I like it. Should we sell some ETH now, or is it going up further? I have no idea, bro. Where did you buy? What is your target? Where is your risk? I can't answer these kind of questions for you, my man. I'll cover ETH and I'll tell you what I think it's going to do. But I'm pretty bullish on Ethereum. LTC, please. I will. Check out Band. I hate Band. I've lost so much money on Band. It's disgusting. Alpha Tech, okay. For the breaker candle, do you include the wicks? It depends. You can include the wick if you want. My suggestion would be just be consistent. If you include the wick every time. If you don't include the wick, make sure to not include the wick every time. The reason I sometimes leave the wicks out is because in crypto you get these sometimes very long wicks, and sometimes it just makes the zone huge, right? And then your risk reward all of a sudden goes from here and here, right? And let's just say we're targeting up there. risk reward is 3.15, whereas here, you know, your risk reward is, you know, much higher. But yeah, you can use the wicks if you want. I sometimes use the wicks, sometimes I don't. I'm a little bit more fluid with it, but technically, the way that I learned is you do include the wicks. Yo, what's up, Connell? What are your thoughts on another leg downward to 40K? Half of CT keeps going on about. Most of my feed is pretty bullish, so I don't know who. Maybe I'm not following the same people as you, but I'm pretty bullish for now. I will talk about some potential bearish scenarios here shortly. Okay, I'm gonna just put a hold on the chat here and get back to the charts before I bore everyone and they leave. So 12-hour breaker, perfect setup here. Another, the setup that I was watching, guys, was this one, right? So basically we had a 1-hour breaker form here, right here. So this is the exact same thing that I just showed you on the H12. The H12 was this entire area. I'm gonna just mark it to show you. So the H12 breaker is here. The H12 breaker is here, right? Up candle before the down move. So these are all red candles on the H12, or in my case, blue. But if you zoom in to the 1 hour, right, there's a lot of action happening in those red candles. So where the up candle on the H12 is here, right, these are all those red candles, right? But we can dial in and get a little more detail. And what you get is this is the actual breaker that took the low and caused that SFP, right? So that 12-hour breaker, right, was way up here, took the low, right, retested it. We're now drilling in and we're saying, okay, well, there's a low 1-hour breaker in here that is responsible for taking the low. So let's see if we can get a retest along. That's the setup that I was watching on stream last week, right here. And it didn't give us the perfect retest, but I essentially just said, listen, as soon as this candle closes here, I said you have two options, right? You either, as soon as the candle closes through, right, we have confirmation that it's a breaker. So it's a breaker here. So you have two options. You either set bids here, stop here, or stop here, and you hope to get filled on a pullback. So just like you got here, right? Just like on the H12 here, you've got your breaker. You could have just entered here, or you set bids and you get filled on a pullback, right? On the 1 hour, you have the exact same choice. You can just enter here, or you set bids and you hope to get filled on a pullback. So I posted, I said, listen, I'm just gonna long, but I'm also willing to add if we get a pullback into the breaker. We didn't. We came close, right? This essentially, you know, more often than not, this little area here will come and give you a test here. You didn't get it here. It was close, didn't come, which is fine because you still got you still had the ability to get long based on once the candle closed through, the breaker was valid. So I posted a setup and it was something like this. Just even targeting like up into here. So I posted something like this on Twitter and we went over it on stream. So entering above the actual breaker. If you had your orders on the breaker, you didn't get filled. Simple as that, you didn't get filled. And it is what it is, right? Once price starts moving away, okay, you don't get filled on the breaker here. Well, what happened here? We just broke market structure. Why aren't you entering here? Right? Again, broke market structure here. Right? Broke market structure. Here's a pullback into previous highs, right? Tops become bottoms. Why aren't you entering here? So there was tons of opportunities to get long. And the premise and the reason you're looking for longs all originates from this move, right? daily demand. Why does it keep going way the fuck back here? Daily demand, high time frame swing failure pattern into daily demand, and then we get a setup down here. Just because you missed the entry here, it doesn't mean you can't long on a pullback, right? Once you know that high time frame you're bullish because of the daily, and then on the low time frame you're now looking for bullish setups. That's the entirety of trading, right? Or for me, daily and the H4 or whatever are bullish. I'm now on the H1 looking for entry triggers. This is an entry trigger, right? This is an entry right here. Once you break through that, this is an entry trigger, right? Here's another entry trigger. Bullish order block, right? Break in market structure, pull back right into the bullish order block, leg up. If I pull a fib from here to here, this is the OTE, right? Boom, right into the OTE. And all of these setups on the H1 are prefaced with the high time frame being bullish. So I have confidence that my long setups are gonna work. I'm not trying to short this. I'm looking for longs. And maybe you get stopped on one. Like maybe you're like, okay, I'm gonna long here. You get stopped, right? But the high time frame is still telling you bullish, right? Your high time frame targets are still bullish, are still above you. So you can take a shot and get drilled and then step in again. You get stopped here, boom, you enter this one and it works. And when you're aiming for asymmetric risk reward, it allows for those losses. It allows for you to miss one, right? Because it all is predicated on the high time frame being bullish. So you're looking for low time frame bullish entry triggers, right? Don't overcomplicate it. It's literally as simple as that. So this was the long setup on Bitcoin right here that we talked about. Played out perfectly. So hopefully some of you guys made some money. Looking at the high time frame now in terms of where are we going next. So key level that I had marked was 51,500. Basically, it's this daily order block here. And as you can see, what is going on with this fucking thing? Fuck you. As you can see, price respected this level multiple times, and then we finally broke out. So I don't think there's a reason to, be overly bearish here. To me, this is kind of like a big ascending triangle breakout here, right? So we had our 51,500 level here, reject, 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 multiple taps, higher lows after each tap, breakout. That's textbook ascending triangle, bullish price action. We've now just made a higher high. So I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I'm not really bearish. If you're looking at, kind of what could be next, what are targets, I think this level here is of interest. And then I also think on the H4 where we are right now, I guess this is probably an H8 right there, is of interest, right? So we're coming into some resistance here, but this is pretty clean. There's no swing failure pattern. There's no super strong rejection. The only cause for concern's not even the right word, but the potential for the pullback is you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green H4 candles. Then now we have a red one. Do we get a little bit more of a pullback? But this is resistance here. And I think if we get through here, we target here. And I think if we get through here, you target 65,000, even higher. I think we go crazy, right? I think we go absolutely parabolic. If we flip this is like some big rounded bottom. This is a 30% pullback, right? Everyone talks about these 30% pullbacks in the bull market, and then they come and no one fucking buys them, right? Because everyone's fucking shitting their pants because they're bullish here, right? And they're like, I'm buying, there are no dips, right? They're like, oh, it's gonna dip, don't worry, it's gonna dip. There are no dips, fuck the dips, it's a new paradigm. But if it does dip, make sure you buy the fucking dip. And then it starts to dip, and then it dips, it dips, and everyone's like, okay, don't worry, bought the dip, we're fine. Then it dips further, right? And everyone starts shitting their pants. Classic bear flag, dips again, right? Classic bear flag, and then your last low, got a tickle in my throat. Sorry, guys. Nothing a little mango White Claw can't fix. To me, this was super clean, right? 3 drives, initial dump, right? Bear flag, second dump, bear flag, final drive, swing failure pattern into daily demand. It was super clean, right? But everyone's talking about buying the dip. They buy the dip too early, right? They're buying it into nothing. We just had a huge move up, right? These guys are just buying everything into nothing. Zoom out. Once this started dipping, the best thing to do is to zoom out and say, what's the most obvious level of demand? To me, it was this one. And we got a perfect 30% pullback, right? Top to bottom, 26%, right into daily demand, right? Everyone talks about wanting to buy that dip until it's there, right? And then they, pussy the fuck out. So to me, this was pretty fucking clean price action the entire way, to be honest with you. And we were bullish right in here, right? There's that H12 breaker, right? And then we longed in here. This is literally last stream. We longed the bottom for all of those reasons I just explained. So I think it was pretty textbook. This looks pretty clean to me. Looking at the H12 here, like this is not an SFP. That's a legit breakout, right? So see here, right? Swing failure pattern, pull back, right? Here, there's no SFP. This is just a legit breakout. And this is in the midst of what I believe is an SR flip, right, of this. So I would now mark that 51,500 level, which is right around here. Right around meow. And this is, should be support for now, right? So maybe a little bit of a pullback here. But looking at the 8 hour, for example, I think we're into resistance. I think this is a level of interest for me. You can even just take this level, put it up here if you want. This would be kind of the next level that I expect to get tested. But this looks pretty good. If we pull back, and as you can see here on the 8 hour, we have a pretty nice order block that's formed right by that 51,500 level. So this would be a long for me if it comes back here, right? That would be a long for me. Maybe we get some sort of action like that. The only bearish situation I see here, and I don't really see a reason to be overly bearish with the stimmy news and blah, 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 is a potential for, this, right? This to be a massive lower high, right? So we are coming into an area where we could potentially see a lower high form, right? So you could argue that this is kind of a bearish order block here. I've never used the highlighter before. To be honest, I just wanted to see what it looked like. This could be a bearish order block here, right? And we're coming into kind of our sweet spot, right? Our fib area, big pullback. But to me, I don't know. This looks just like, no matter what way I slice it, this looks bullish to me. I don't want to fade, like the potential is this, right? The bearish potential is this right here, is that we are doing this right now. That's the bearish argument. So for that guy who said, what do you think about the people thinking we have another leg? That is the bearish argument right there, is that we are seeing a relief pump before another leg down. And then, right, because this was a month-long correction, right? And we had a 30% drop, then another 30% drop, and then we moved up. The difference to me is the bottoming structure. And the reason I don't think that this is a lower high here, and I could be wrong, I could absolutely be wrong, right? This could be a lower high. Then we could do this. Anything is possible. Prepare for any scenario. For now, I'm leaning bullish. But the reason I don't think we're here, right, lower high, is because of this. In this instance, right, we had a nice push up, but this was essentially a V reversal, right? We dumped and then we recovered and then we dumped again. Here, we dumped right? And then we've consolidated here, right? Legged up, consolidate, legged up, consolidate, leg up. To me, this is just more bullish. This is more bullish price action here in terms of structure than this was, right? This to me was a relief rally before price sold off. This doesn't look like that to me. This looks more bullish. So I'm leaning bull for now. And kind of what I'm watching are those levels I had marked here, but that's the bearish argument. The bearish argument is that this is a lower high. So anything is possible. You know, maybe the stock market absolutely nukes and this fucking nukes as well. But for now, I'm leaning bullish. We are into some resistance here. I would buy this. This SR flip, you know, potentially could be a long. This SR flip, absolutely a long. So that's Bitcoin done and dusted. So that's your answer there. Shaman 8. 241 watching and 49 likes. Yeah, let's pump those numbers up, please, guys. 100 likes before the video is over. It'd be dope. Main, on this entry on the H12 breaker, what is your stop? A close below the breaker. So, good question. So, 2 or 3 ways you can kind of do this, and it all is up to you. So, if you're using the wicks, right, on the breaker, like this, right, in theory, entry is here, right, at the top of the breaker, and your stop is right below the bottom. Give it a few points of breathing room, right? You don't want to put it right at the breaker. Give it a few points of breathing room. The other option, which would be more risk averse, meaning less likely to be stopped out, but a lower risk reward generally, but a higher strike rate because you're going to get stopped out less, but again, lower risk reward, pick your poison, would be below the swing low that the breaker forms, right? So you can either have your stop right at the breaker or below the swing low that the breaker formed. The reason I don't like using close belows, right? Because if you say, okay, I'm going to get stopped out on a close below the breaker, right? So not at the breaker's edge. So let's say you have a resistance here. If we get a close through, that is a good sign for me. If we have support here and we get a close below, that support's lost. But the reason on longs, I like the close through, but on stop losses for shorts or longs, I don't love it, because what happens if instead of the next candle being the green candle that comes here, what happens if the next candle that prints here is a big fucking red dildo like this, and then it closes way the fuck down here? Are you not going to be pissed that you held this trade and then it closed way down here? So that's why I would have my stop either at the edge or below this swing low. I would not have it as a close, because that candle, yeah, maybe we close just below the breaker and then you cut it. But if this candle ends up being a huge red nuke candle like this, right? Like let's say your stop was a close below this level. Well, that close didn't happen till way the fuck down here. You don't want to be holding a long way down there, right? Your stop should be there, let's say. So hopefully that answers that question. If you trade reckless with margin, you might end up necklace. It takes years to build up the neck like mains. Honestly, I was born with the neck. You just try to embrace it. I was born in the neck. A little Bane action for you. Okay. Do you think F goes to 2K in these few days? I mean, it's possible. I'm bullish on F, and if F continues to be bullish, 2K is within striking distance. But I don't like to trade being like, oh, Bitcoin to 60K, F to 2K. Just play the chart, right? What's the next logical target? That's all you need to worry about. Where's my risk? That's all you need to worry about. Less is more. Don't try and fixate on price targets. That's one of the biggest problems with crypto, is people have this attachment to price, because you own Bitcoin. And if a Bitcoin is worth 20,000 or 50,000, obviously at 50,000, you have way more money. So you have this attachment to price, and people get obsessed with price targets, and the price of Bitcoin is irrelevant. Like from a trading perspective, the price of any of these coins is irrelevant. If you own them and you're collecting them and you have spot, sure, the price matters, right? If it's 50K, you have more money than when it was at 40. And if you sold them at 50 and it goes to 60, you can't buy as many, right? So it's relevant in that sense. But from like just a pure trading perspective, the price of the asset you're trading is irrelevant. I don't care what the price of gold is. I don't care what the price of Euro USD is or dollar CAD. I just care if it moves and if I can find a risk-defined setup to get involved at. So if you're just trading Ethereum, who cares? Maybe it's going down. Are you getting in a short? Then as long as it's moving down and there's volatility, you can make money. The only time price matters is if you're buying spot, or maybe you bought spot and it's below, price is below where you paid and now you're worried about it, right? But for the most part, all a trader cares about is volatility and the ability to get in a risk-defined trade. The value of the asset and the direction of the chart to the trader is irrelevant. Up or down, you can make money as long as it moves, right? What a trader hates is sideways. So the problem is with crypto is because people own crypto, inherently you're long, inherently you're bullish because you own it, so you're long, so you want it to go up. If you bought a bunch of F at 2K, of course you're going to be asking if it's going back to 2K because you want to get to break even and beyond, right? So I get your question, but try not to fixate so much on price and just play what the chart is telling you, right? Long or short neck? Always long neck. Hi, Necklord69. I was wondering how you use bullish and bearish divergences in your strategy, or if you have any advice on how to use it. So I don't use RSI really in my trades. I know how it works. I can show you how it works if you guys are interested. But this is not something that I use. So this, for example, would be what is considered a bearish divergence in RSI. So the way that the RSI works, and someone who is better with divergences might step in and correct me here. I'm not a divergence expert. Cold-blooded Schiller, who I follow on Twitter, popular guy, he's got lots of followers on there as well. He's really good with divergences, and I defer to his divergence expertise. But my understanding is when the RSI is either above the 70 or below the 30, that's when your bullish or bearish divergences form. If the divergence forms within this box, right, within the 30 to the 70, that would be called, one of those hidden divergences. So if it's a hidden bearish divergence, it's, RSI is making lower highs, right, where price is making higher highs, but it's within this purple box. Vice versa for bullish divergences, hidden bullish divergences. The regular divergences have to occur outside of the box. So here you have a perfect example of a bearish divergence. We are outside of the above the 70, and you have RSI putting in a lower high and you have price putting in a higher high. So that can be used as confluence with price action to potentially look for a short setup. And you ended up getting, a very big dump on confirmation of that divergence. And on the lower time frames, right, you had a bearish divergence right here as well, right at the top. So this is not something I use personally in my trades, but that's kind of the gist of it. RSI to me, confluence. If the RSI gives you a bearish divergence and you find a bearish setup in price action, extra confidence that it's going to work. It's not enough, in my opinion, to just base your entire trade on, you know, being oversold, overbought, or some sort of divergence. I guess this would be a hidden bullish divergence here, right? Higher low within the purple, lower low, and that lines up with our breaker. So there's confluence, price action, and RSI. I'll do F next. Valerito says those longs were lit, bro. What's up, Valerito? How you doing, man? Jam says it's not a very inspiring desk. You just wait, bro. It's gonna be the dopest desk in all of CT. Once I get it all pimped out with my lights, it's gonna be sick. Just patience. It's like this. It's like a white desk. It's like a blank canvas, and I'm Picasso. I'm about to fucking turn this motherfucker into art. You guys just wait. Trust me. Do a PC build list. I don't really know shit about PCs. I had a friend build it for me. If you guys want to know what I have, I could post it. Shaky 001. Hey yo, I'm long from 48400. My initial target was the resistance at 55800, but this consolidation here makes me think I should take some time off. Do you think we're at decent resistance right now? If your target was 55,800 and we're not there yet, why are you worried? Like, to me, the price just broke out. Looked pretty fucking bullish to me. Like, we literally retest, breakout, maybe we get another retest, but things look pretty good, man. I think you're probably going to be fine. But if you're feeling, like, again, if you're feeling worried, if you're in a trade and you have feelings of nerves, oh, I should take some off. Oh, I need to close because you probably are risking too much, right? Like, you should be relatively emotionless, right? Until you're trading really big size, and then you start trading your P&L a little more just because you're up, you know, large amounts of money, or down large amounts of money. For the most part, right, you should stick to your plan, right? If your target was 55,800 and we're not there yet, why are you closing now? But if you see something in price action that you don't like, take some profit, adjust your stop, right? But you might be risking too much, so keep that in mind. But for the most part, you know, no one went broke taking profit. If price isn't doing exactly what you want, there's nothing wrong with taking some money off the table, right? You're not gonna, you know, but if price all of a sudden then goes to your target, are you gonna be pissed that you closed some early, right? So that's part of the grind. Trade management is hard. But to me, it looks pretty good here. Like, I think we're probably going to have another bullish candle here. And, you know, your target is not that far away, but up to you, bro, what you want to do. Your target's probably right there, if I had to guess. Yeah. I missed the start, so listening from the middle period about equities correlation, CT, crypto, food for thought. Really nicely explained. Thanks, bro. What's up, Brian? Got me gunners on right now while I stare at your neck, bro. You're gonna need them because my pasty ass is probably lighting up the screen. Trading Puppy says, bro. Jacob says, listening to you from Spain, you rock. ¿Cómo estás? Me llamo Trader Main. Yo soy el gato gigante y yo soy muy guapo y yo hablo español perfecto. Todas las chicas te llamo Trader Main. Para yo soy más guapo en toda la biblioteca. There you go. That was probably a lot of gibberish. I think I said library at some point. Have you heard, this guy says, who has a wider neck, Maine or Oprah? Definitely me. Who has a wider wallet? That one would be Oprah. Have you heard of Woo Trade? 3 Arrows Capital invested. I have not heard of Woo Trade, but if 3 Arrows Capital is in, shit's probably going to pump. Suju does not miss very often. Why your messages keep getting deleted? I don't know. Not me, bro. George Crypto, what's up, bro? How you doing? Long time no see. Hope you're well. George Crypto's in the chat, everyone. Definitely recommend you check him out. He's very solid price action trader. He's got a YouTube channel as well. Posts some great content on there. Check him out. He's a good homie. He's a good guy. Cot says, hey bro, do you see BTC at 80K this month? This kind of goes back to that point that I was talking about earlier, right? Like, forget fucking making price targets. Just play the chart. I'm bullish on BTC until the chart tells me not to be, right? So looking at the super high time frame here, like until this tells me to not be bullish anymore, I'm going to be bullish, right? So this is kind of your bullish validation initially. Now it's probably here, right? So as long as we're above there, I mean, even then we could have an SFP into here and then go like this. But for now, like assuming we make a new high here, as long as we hold this swing low, I'm bullish to higher prices. How high that is, I don't know. I'm not trying to predict where the bull market ends. I'm just going to play price action. It's no different than here. You know, you're bullish here. Who knew it was going to stop at 20K? No one did, right? But when price action came, broke market structure to the downside, right? Now you're selling rallies, right? Because price told you things aren't bullish high time frame anymore, right? That's why, you know, you don't sell here. Most people have no idea that it's going to top here. If they do, if you get out at 20K, that was luck, right? But after it broke key high time frame market structure, now you're selling rips because it's now bearish market structure. Same shit goes here. Until this thing breaks high time frame market structure, what it is not done, higher low, right? Assuming it continues up, till it does one of these, right? Like if this does this and then closes down there, then you probably sell the next rally until it either finds a base or what. But for now, we're focused on long side because high time frame market structure is bullish. No reason to, you know, try and say it's going to 80K and that's where I'm going to take profit, right? 80K from here is also, you know, a pretty fucking big move, right? 45%, I don't know, potentially. But again, I'm not in the game of predictions. That's not me. God, chat is going off. Okay, I'm going to cover I'm going to cover Ethereum now here because I keep getting to the chat and the chat's just going crazy and I feel like people don't want to watch me just answer questions. They want to see some chart action. So look, here's Ethereum, right? Exact same setup we took on Bitcoin. This was the exact setup from Stream, right? So we had the run of the lows. Did I do a 4-hour breaker? What did I do on this one? 30 minute? What did I do? What is this box? I don't know. But this was the exact setup from Stream. I haven't even edited this chart once, right? We were getting long here. Once it closed through, we talked about getting long. There was our target, those stops there. And you can see this played out perfectly. Nice, easy 2.5 hour. Came back, gave you another nice entry, right? Again, into here, what do we have? This is an SFP, right? Boom. So this is the exact same as Bitcoin, right? It didn't give you that perfect, perfect retest, right? Didn't give you that perfect retest, but it played out, right? Once you got the close through, that's your long trigger. Otherwise, you're getting long in one of these consolidations, you're getting long on a pullback, right? So this played out perfectly. I haven't even touched this chart since that last video. So let's just kind of delete everything here, see where we're at. Well, actually, hold on. I don't really need to explain the setup because it's the exact same setup as Bitcoin, right? High time frame sweep, right? Swing failure pattern sweep, whatever the fuck you want to call it, into daily demand, right? Boom. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Why is my fucking clicks not fucking working? Like, Why can't I click on that box? So there's your daily order block. Swing failure pattern right into the order block. Right? Look at the H12. Do we get the same setup as Bitcoin? We do. Exact same setup. There's your H12 breaker. Right? Up candle caused the down move that ran the low. Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum price actions basically been identical. You know, H12 breaker. Zoom in. Here's your H1 breaker right here. Well, I guess the reason I probably didn't use the breakers because we had this kind of clusterfuck down here. Technically, that is your breaker. Technically. Let's see if we get something cleaner on one of these other time frames here. You know, there's nice and clean on the 2 hour. Right? There's your breaker. Up candle caused the down move. Soon as we close through, that's your long. Same as Bitcoin. Give you quite the pullback. Right? There's an SFP. Bullish price action the entire way out, right? You're longing dips. Soon as this occurs here, you're looking for longs in this entire area because of the high time frame. But the setup exact same as Bitcoin. So that worked out perfectly. That's the exact long from stream, unedited, stop entry target given live in the video. And it played out to a T. So I really hope some of you guys caught this because we played it perfectly even on the candle close. See, it's different. Normally when I move my mouse over an item, it highlights, but I guess this is like another stupid TradingView update. But yeah, this was stop entry target all given on stream. So hopefully some of you guys caught that, made some money. I'm drinking my White Claw. We're getting crazy. Okay. So, what? Let's look at Ethereum high time frame now. Where are we going? How high can we go? You know, this is looking pretty crisp. I mean, what's crazy about Ethereum, right? And I posted this on Twitter today, is like everyone wanted this retest on Bitcoin. Excuse me, that was so rude. Right? Once we broke all-time high here, right? Everyone wanted to buy a retest. Everyone, you know, and people talked about it, right? If you go back and you check January, December, whenever it was when we broke all-time high, everyone was like, we're going to retest 20K, and you long that shit. Never came, right? So that's the thing. Sometimes you don't get it, right? We broke 20K and we just absolutely fucking ripped. And then we consolidated at like 40K, right? So Ethereum, on the other hand, right, it didn't have that same, you know, it did. It broke all-time high, right? There's your previous all-time high. Broke all-time high, moved away, then had a huge sell-off. But like everyone got bearish and everyone this, I get the whole, whatever, fuck it. What I'm saying is a lot of people flipped bearish on this all-time high retest. Like to me, this was as clean as you can get. But even I personally had my doubts because this was a pretty ugly looking weekly candle that we printed, and the monthly candle, right, was hideous, right? Remember, we had this monthly candle that closed like this, and it was like, ugh. But I talked about this in the video, said I wouldn't be surprised if we see the next monthly candle just completely fill in this wick, and this is a complete psyop fake out, and we longed the fucking literal low. We longed this on stream. We longed the all-time high retest. So not only did you have the swing failure pattern into daily demand, breaker, blah, 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 all of that was layered on an all-time high retest. So high time frame SR, high time frame context, high time frame sweep, high time frame retest, low time frame entry, right? When you break it down, top down, that's when you get those really killer setups that really run, right? Like that trade was only 2.5 R as it was laid out, right? Because we entered like here, right? And we were just targeting here, and our stop was here, right? So this was 2.5 R, But like if you stayed in this thing, let's not assume that you held the entire thing. You took some off here, whatever. No, our stop was tighter. Our stop was like at the breaker. Something like that. Close enough, right? But like, you know, this is you long below. And the reason you got this huge reaction, right? You aim here because it's a low time frame entry, but you can have high time frame targets because we're predicated on a high time frame setup here. So we had a previous all-time high retest. What else do we have here? We have a beautiful weekly order block form right at all-time high. So we have a weekly bullish order block that caused the move above all-time high. We come back, we retest it, retest this, and then on the lower time frame, confluent with all that bullshit, we get that big sweep right there. That's why I was long there. That's why you got to be bullish there. There's so many pieces of confluence and a bunch of people, all that you saw, right? All that they saw is you see this big weekly candle. You go, shit, that looks ugly, right? Oh, look at all the memes, right? All the memes, everyone, ETH is a cucked coin. Fuck Ethereum, Vitalik, fuck this, fuck that. That's such an ugly weekly candle. This monthly close is so ugly, right? But people are too focused on the candle here, right? This is all they see. They go, what the fuck? And it's like, well, dude, zoom out. First of all, what about this is bearish? We're absolutely flying for the last fucking 9 months, and we have one big red candle, and all of a sudden the bull runs over. I thought you loved 30% pullbacks, didn't you? And not only that, we're retesting previous all-time high. We're retesting support, right? And then we're getting that lower time frame shit. Swing failure pattern into the order block there, drill it all the way down, and you and I on stream live are longing the absolute bottom based on the 1 hour chart, right? So I'm not perfect. I miss trades. I get bullish at tops, bearish at bottoms sometimes. I long tops, I long bottoms. I'm not perfect by any means. But, you know, if you look at Twitter recently, God, I'm getting fucking smoked on this goddamn trade. Sorry. Ouchie. Sorry. I long dollar CAD and I got absolutely wrecked. God damn. That was not a good trade. But again, like, it's just Twitter, right? And I'm guilty of this. I'm on Twitter. I got a bunch of followers. I'm on there posting bullshit for clout and trying to get likes and farming. Like I'm as guilty as anyone of retweeting old tweets that might have been ambiguous, being like, oh, long now. Like I mean, it's funny because it was correct. Like I posted, I think it was here. It's here or is here. Is one of these two lows. And I basically said, listen, if we're putting in a higher low, it was here. It was at this breaker. If you go on Twitter, when we hit this breaker, I said, if we're putting in a higher low, it's happening here, is what I said, right? And then we did, and then the next day I posted like long here, and then I did long, and I posted the fucking entry and shit at like 48K I longed or whatever. You know, and then we pump, and I'm like, looks like longing was a good idea, right? And like, oh, you know, it's Twitter. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like I've said this before, it's like, it's your highlight reel, right? You don't, I like to think that I keep it real for the most part, you know, and post losses too. I don't just post when I win. But it's just funny because if you go on Twitter, right, the same accounts that were screaming about this ugly weekly candle and how we're going to retest 700, you know, are also now telling you that like ha ha ha, dip buyers are getting rewarded. I hope you bought the dip. Everyone was telling me that they were everyone was bearish and I was bullish. Like, it's just a big fucking circle jerk on there. And it's a circle jerk that I participate in often. Let me make that very clear. I'm not trying to be on some high horse here being like, look at all these fuckers on Twitter, I'm better than them. I'm as guilty as anyone. But what I'm saying for you, and this is coming from someone who's part of the circle jerk, is take all that shit with a grain of salt, right? Focus on your fucking chart. Ignore Twitter for the most part, because it's just a bunch of retards on there, me included, just trying to fucking say I told you so. That's what Twitter is to a large extent in crypto. It's the I told you so fucking platform. Oh, remember this ambiguous tweet that I sent out being like bullish on this, and then it dropped 20%, and then it went up 40%, and then even though I tweeted it here, now it's up from when I tweeted it, so I can tell everyone was bearish, I was bullish. It's like, well, actually we fucking ate a dick for a while and then we pumped regardless. It's all a bunch of bullshit. So just take all that shit with a grain of salt. I mean, ETH was bullish not because a bunch of people or because I said on Twitter. It was bullish because of the fucking chart. And all you needed to do was look at the chart, zoom out, ignore the noise about how ETH is cocked and this is an ugly weekly candle, and just say, are we not just retesting fucking all-time high? And there you go. You got a killer long setup. That I longed live on stream. So I told you so. But yeah, so let's we'll check the chat quickly here, do FBTC, and then I'm probably gonna call it a wrap. So this video is already an hour and 20 minutes, and I need to get to bed. It's almost 1 a.m. But I will do another video probably midweek to make up for. It's just, like I said, I'm moving. I'm not 100% on my game right now. I'm in a new space. My computer's not even fully set up. So I want to just kind of settle in a little bit more before I'm back to my regular self, because I'm just kind of a little frazzled. But I know a lot of people want to see certain altcoins. I haven't had a chance to look at them. And I don't want to be up till 3 in the morning here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at FBTC, and then I will do another video on Wednesday. Okay, I promise I will do another stream on Wednesday, and I will cover mostly alt. So I'll quickly cover, whatever. If Bitcoin does something crazy, I'll quickly go over that. But the primary focus of that video will be to cover all these altcoins, because I see people talking about Ray, Luna, Rancam wants to say D's nuts. Got him. So I'll do my best to do more of an altcoin focused stream. I don't want this video to be abhorrently long and it's late. I would rather do another video on Wednesday where I'm fresh and I can cover all these altcoins you guys are talking about. Because I do want to do them. I do. Okay, so let's just see the chat here. Do you hedging on your positions in futures when price action go down? So I hedge a couple of ways, Julian. Sometimes I will sell to tether to hedge. Sometimes I will, if I'm long spot, I will short futures. And vice versa. So yes, I do sometimes, like if I'm own a bunch of Bitcoin, I think price might pull back. You can either sell some to tether or you can short futures or something like that to hedge. And it is something I do sometimes. Luna breaking highs. Can you throw Nexos at it and give me some thoughts? Again, I told myself I was gonna not go over all this shit, but I am weak. Luna. God damn it. Someone told me to buy this at fucking like $5. Yeah, someone told me to buy this here and I didn't listen. So shout out to Pound Processor, bro. I should have listened because this was a killer trade. Good job, you. But yeah, I mean, this looks really good, right? What do I need to say? Huge consolidation here. Big old breakout, retest the accumulation and leg up. This looks good. Next pullback is a buy. Do people sell off near tax time? I'm new to crypto. There's, some people say that people sell around, tax time to make sure they have enough cash to pay their taxes. It depends where you live. Some people don't have to worry about paying taxes for crypto. So, I mean, really, I think that's more of like a North American, European problem, at least in some European places. There's lots of places around the world that are very crypto friendly. So I don't think that's enough of a reason. People love to see something happen in price and then try and attach a narrative to it. Again, focus on the chart, right? Hey man, I don't know if anyone asked this, but isn't there a weekly bearish divergence on Bitcoin, which is not played yet? Making a higher high now would make a triple div, or is invalidated? I am not a divergence trader, so I don't really know. I did point out that there is a bearish divergence on Bitcoin playing out. I don't know how it works. Like, is this dump the bearish, like, because it was here, right? The divergence on the RSI. Is this dump it playing out? When is it invalidated? Those kind of things. I just don't know. I'm not a divergence expert. There's other people that are better than that. I know Cold Blood Schiller does his own stream. He would be a good guy to ask for something like that. It's having a little dump, sir. On RSI, can you go over what the OTE is? Is it just the 61.8 to the 78.6 on the fib? Yes, that is. It's something I learned from ICT. This is just a very common, right? In a up move, fucking hell, right? If price is going up, this is just a very common area where price will pull back to, right? Is this deep pullback? It doesn't have to go here, right? Sometimes price pulls back to here and then goes, or pulls back to the 50 and then goes. But this is something ICT coined the OTE. So the OTE is the optimal trade entry. So these three levels are what he calls the sweet spot. And the OTE is actually this level right here, which is just the middle of these two levels. Chris Laurie, for example, uses similar phraseology. He calls it the apex. Lots of other names for it, but that's all it is. It is not some voodoo. This is by far the best technical analysis I've ever seen. Do you have a TG group where people want to come in and learn and chill? Thank you so much. That's so nice of you to say. I have a Discord. The link to join my Discord is in the bio of my Twitter. So if you go on my Twitter, click the Linktree link. There is a link to join my Discord. It is 100% free. Would love to have you. People are hanging out, talking price action. I also have some educational content in there. So by all means, come chill. Carol says, thanks, great insight. Thank you, Carol. Valerito says, neat, bro. Thanks, homie. Wide range eyes and eagle eyes. Don't know if I understand that. Zach Miller says, can you explain what daily demand is? So that's just like an order block, right? So that this would be your demand here, right? So it's just a supply and demand trading concept, right? Here is daily demand here, right? It's the down candle before an up move, right? That would be daily demand. And that's an area where you can look for a long, whereas daily supply would be the inverse of that, right? It'd be the up candle before a down move. That's your daily supply, and that's an area that you could look to sell. I kind of like this highlighter. I kind of fuck with this. Do we fuck with this? Is this better than the brush? Right? Do we fucks with the highlighter? I kind of fucks with it. I don't know. It's kind of like easier to draw with. Right? Here's our 12-hour breaker. It's kind of easy to draw with. There's your entry. Stop here. Target here. I kind of fucks with it. Okay. Great stream, learning a lot. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Is it possible to place on close trigger bids ahead of time? I don't think so. I don't think you can place an order to close a trade based on a candle close. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Is swing trading a lot easier compared to day trading or scalping as per you? I think swing trading is easier because there is less data. When you're looking at the low time frame, you have tons of candles and it can be stressful because things are happening fast. You have a little bit more time to analyze and to make decisions based on swing trading. I think for the majority of people, swing trading is a better option because it's slower, and most people who are learning are not trading full-time anyways, so they don't have the ability to watch intraday. Price is fractal, so technically if it works on the 1 hour, it should work on the 1 minute. So I don't think one is better than the other per se from a technical perspective, but I think for most people, it's a lot easier to learn swing trading. It's a little slower. It's not as stressful because there are less, there's more time in between candle closes, but that has a flip side, less opportunities because there's less setups. So if you miss a setup, you might have to wait longer for your next one. And that also means there could be more time where you're in a trade that's going against you. If you're in a long on a swing trade, you might be underwater for a few days. Can you handle that mentally, right? So there's a lot of different angles to kind of look at the thing, right? But I think for the most part, swing trading is probably better for new people, I would say. But when you're learning, if you're looking at the lower time frames, you have more examples that you can look at. So there's no right answer, but I would suggest if you're new, probably start higher time frame. Less stress for sure. Do you use Market Cipher? I don't know what Market Cipher is, so no. Can you show your setup? Once it's done, I will show it. It is literally, I literally fucking shoved my monitors on my desk just so I could do this stream. It is by no means ready. And last time I posted a picture of my desk, I got absolutely destroyed. So, is this still live? Yes. Man, you're the best fucking guy on Twitter. Not exaggerating. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate that. This guy says hidden bullish divergence is a bit more complicated than that. Okay, well, feel free to educate me. Like I said, I don't use divergences. I am not an expert. Hey, Trader Main, do you like to try and catch the bounces from short-term dumps? If so, how do you go about the trade? I don't think like that, right? Like I just look to trade at logical levels. So my best trades are generally when I see some sort of price action coming into a daily level. So whether it's a dump going into daily support or a pump going into daily resistance, those are usually my best trades, right? Daily order block, I'm looking to trade this price action here. We end up getting a swing failure pattern, blah, blah, blah. That's my best kind of fucking trade. Just like on the flip side, when we come up here, if we get like a move like this, some sort of SFB, I'll look to short it, right? So my best trades happen when price comes into a daily level of interest, and then I look for a lower time frame setup. Those are my favorite trades. Thank you so much for your thorough answer on divergences. You're awesome, Necklord69. First interaction on your stream, and I know I'm gonna keep coming back, bro. Thank you for tuning in. Necklord69, definitely a name I could get used to. Desk porn, yes. Why is it important to get candle closes above a certain price? Are they time frame specific? Whatever level the SR is from, if it's a daily level, I don't care if a 5-minute candle closes above here, because if the candle on the daily closes here, this is just a wick, right? So it is time frame specific. Wherever the level comes from, that's where the relevant time frame close is, right? If it's a daily level, right, want to see where the daily candle closes. Oh my God. 54K was where we got rejected on the dead cat on the first dump, but looks strong at 54K. Yeah, again, right, we are coming into resistance here from a fib perspective. So if we're gonna top, right, this is resistance here until it's not. So there is a chance that this sells off, right? I'm leaning bullish because I think this price action here with this breakout, I think this is constructive. I think this is accumulation and we're gonna see expansion, but I could be wrong and we could reject, but I'm leaning towards a test of this order block next. If I had to guess, we're gonna test 56K. All the ladies love him. He's good looking. Thank you, Chad. There was a 120 BTC buy order on Binance earlier once it broke 54K. All right. So, I mean, that could mean anything, right? Do you scale into your trades or total balance from the beginning? It depends. Am I scalping? Am I getting in a swing? For the most part, I'll use more than one entry. Oprah is Satoshi. Ape and ball. Suzu is on board. Okay. When did you get in and out of the 2017 bull run? So I did pretty good in 2017. Where I lost all my money was in 2014. And I also lost a bunch of money fucking margin trading here. But it is what it is. And I lost some money here. But who didn't? I started buying and getting long pretty much from September of 2016. I rode this all the way up. Wasn't really margin trading. Was just buying spot and holding. And then I sold a bunch of my spot as soon as we cracked 10K. Right? As soon as we cracked 10K, I started selling at every $1,000 interval. And that's sometimes what you have to do. You have to have a price in mind where you want to sell, because no one knew it was going to go to 20K, right? It could have ended here. It could have went here. You don't know, right? So you have to have a plan. And so my plan, because I had bought, relatively early, and, was up 5 to 10x on my investment, similar to, the bottom here, to where we are now. We're up 5 to 10x, right? 10x plus. You got to have a plan. So my plan from my buys here was as soon as we hit 10K, I was going to start selling. And so I sold every $1,000 increment, essentially. So I did have some sales, not at 20K, but I had some sales at 19, at 18. And then, like I said, when we had this break in market structure, I sold everything else I had on this up move, and then I began shorting on these bounces. And this is something I posted on Twitter. I started getting popular on Twitter in the bear market, and I believe it's because I was one of the few people who, once we broke market structure, we had a perfect bearish breaker play here, right? So the opposite of what I've been showing you, right? This is the down candle before an up move, sell off, retest, boom. I was one of the few people, not that other people weren't bearish, like Donald also was bearish in the bear market, that every time we bounced, I was shorting. I was shorting all of these lower highs, and I said, I don't think 6K holds forever. I talked about, the bouncing ball meme. I was posting about that back here. I was like, every bounce from this support level is getting weaker. It's eventually going to collapse. And that's this is when I gained popularity on Twitter. Was during this here, really. What is the lowest time frame you think a breaker is valid? I mean, technically, it can work as low as the 1 minute. It's all relative to the analysis, right? What time frame did the swing failure pattern happen on? Is it at a key level? You can go right down to the 1 minute. Why does Bybit have such high funding fees? Because there's a bunch of apes trading on high leverage there. You can click, just cursor doesn't change. LTC, bro. What's an SFP? Swing failure pattern. What do you define as a breaker? I just covered breakers like 6 times in this stream, but if you go on my Twitter and you search Trader Main TA Tips, so just go hashtag Trader Main TA Tips, you will see a tweet I put out a while ago explaining exactly what a breaker is with pictures and labels and everything. Breaker is a MAE, Ken says. I don't know what that means. Market structure break. CAD is chatting. That's probably where I got nailed on my trade. Where in Van are you from? Why would I tell you that? You gonna come and see me? Nice try, CRA. Circle jerk, yes, 100%. Seeing some growth and leveling with oneself. Man, respect the honesty. We need more of this in this space. Appreciate you. I appreciate you, Kai. Thank you for the message. Like everyone trying to claim they called Coddy. It's been a hot coin on CoinMarketCap for weeks now. I mean, that's what it is, right? Everyone wants to say, I told you so, and retweet some tweet. And again, I'm not in a high horse. I'm not in a glass house throwing stones. I'm guilty of this shit all the fucking time. It's Twitter. I play the game, right? But I'm just saying, if you're new, and you're feeling overwhelmed, and you're going on Twitter, and you're seeing all these people calling all these moves, just know most of it is bullshit. Right? Most of it is just engagement farming. Everyone was bearish, but I was bullish, right? It's stupid, and I'm guilty of it. Just delete your wrong prediction tweets. Can definitely do that. Damn, bro, one house tour soon. Once I'm all moved in, I'll give you guys a tour. How often do you participate in the circle jerks? I'd say twice a day, 7 days a week, minimum. Hey, I'm Fat Albert. Hey. What's up, Christopher Norland? Not Christopher Nolan, the Batman director. Created all-time high, then retested. Okay. What's up, fam? What's up, Byron? I bought Luna around 6 because Terra Network, and your name's Terra Infinity, so there you go. It's a perfect name. Perfect mix. Check PPT. Now you say terrible name. You spelled terrible wrong, but your name is Terra Infinity. How's that terrible? It pumped to $5 back under 3. Could be a good opportunity. I will check all of these altcoins next video, guys. I promise. Okay, this video is 140 minutes. This guy says your dulcet Canadian tones make me homesick. Okay. Thanks for your time and view. Okay, guys. I think this is good. Awesome. So as usual, love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope this was educational, valuable for you. I'm really fucking excited for the rest of this year. I'm excited for the new setup. I'm going to be building green screen. We're going to be stepping up the production level of this stream majorly. So I'm really looking forward to it. So I appreciate you guys so much, obviously. I love that you guys want to watch me. 200 fucking people want to watch me talk about, my floating head, talk about fucking charts is mind-blowing to me and will always continue to be. So thank you so much. Cannot do this without you guys. Thank you for Prime for putting this, helping me out, sponsoring me to do these videos. I will do another video on Wednesday. So not tomorrow, but the day after, probably sometime towards the end of my day, so like 3 or 4 PST. Hopefully that's a good time for everyone. And I will cover all these altcoins because I did not have a chance to get into them. So I'll cover Serum, SPX, Alpha, Litecoin, any coin you guys want. Wednesday's stream will be an altcoin stream. Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter, DM me. My DM's open. I do my best to respond. Join my Discord. That's probably the best way to get in contact with me. It's completely free. Trade Remains PA Palace. There's a link in the description to my Twitter. Sign up with my Prime link. I've got a bunch of ref links in there. If you guys want to support me in any way, just use my ref links and market in and out of $1 million trades so I can get paid, baby. Share this video. I'm totally joking. Share this video with your friends. Like it, subscribe, please. Really enjoy doing these. Can't wait to do more. Thank you so much again, as usual, for tuning in. Someone's saying my Discord link does not work, so I will drop a link right now to the Discord. That looks like it works. Here is the Discord link right there. Yeah, all right, guys. Brett says, I'm not crazy. I'm from Maple Ridge. Go to town frequently. Yeah, dude, feel free to DM me. I'm more than happy to meet up and get a beer if you promise you're not crazy. All right, guys, thank you so much. Love you guys. We'll be back Wednesday with another video. Just remember, live on stream last week, we longed the bottom on F and BTC. Everyone was bearish. We were bullish. I told you so. We told them. Fuck all that. But yeah, go watch last week's video, right? I think that will be a good confluence for this week's video. You can see it happening live, and then now you can see this week how it played out, right? So it's not just hindsight. You can see it in advance. You can see it after the fact. I think that'll be valuable. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.